Well, again, it was a hard-fought game. I thought our kids really battled back. Um, Iowa State is an outstanding, scoring team and shooting team. Even, you know, uh, even without their center, they were pretty tough, and we were fortunate to get the win. But I love the way our guys competed, especially down the stretch, and the way we defended and got stops when we needed. A lot of clutch plays throughout the game. So I couldn't. I'm excited for our kids, and certainly we needed a win like this. Any question?
What stood out to you about y'all's defensive performance in the overtime period? Iowa State was only 1 of 8 from the floor.
Well, we made some adjustments to to try to make them use more time, make them go to other options. Well, I was hoping fatigue would play a part in it, and I think that did because we really tried to keep pressure on them the whole game. We knew they had a short bench, even though their bench came in and lit it up in the first half. Jordan Ashton and Hollis Cooks made threes, and Simeon Carter's guys that came off the bench played well for them. And our kids did too. But I thought, just over time and pressure, because we tried to press. We hadn't pressed much this season, so we wanted to, this year especially in league play, but we wanted to try to wear them down. I think that was the key to, and the switching defense at the end. We did some good things there, made some adjustments, and limited them to one shot. And that's what you have to do to win games is get stops, defensive stops, because we certainly didn't do a good job up until overtime.
Coach, how about the big three-point bomb by Keenan Evans?
Yeah, it was a side out of bounds play. We only had 2 seconds, and we were looking to throw the lob to Zach off of a back screen by Keenan. He did a good job, so he was free to come get the ball. And knowing it was just 2 seconds, it was a heck of a play to put us up by 3. That was a big. We needed something like that to happen for us. It's happened against us a bit this year, so I'm glad it was our turn.
Coach, Aaron had 20 again tonight, and he led y'all in scoring again. What's it been like seeing him grow over this year and just kind of turn into the scorer he is here down the stretch?
Well, I'm just, you can't be happier for a kid who missed, had 2 knee surgeries on the same knee, and what he's gone through. He stuck it out through 3 coaches now. I may be the 4th coach he's been a part of. So although it tells you about his, he's always been a good shooter, a good scorer. I mean, that's what he does. But now that he's healthy, he's rebounding the ball, with 6 rebounds. He's moving laterally a lot better. He has great touch on his shot, the best on the team. And one of the best touches I think of the players I've had the good fortune to coach. So he's feeling comfortable, getting obviously more playing time, 40 minutes tonight. We didn't get, but Matthew with his bad eye really couldn't. He's rusty. You can see he's a little rusty. And this was one of those games where we had to shorten our bench and try to wear them down as well. The guys that did play did an excellent job. So, I'm really pleased with Aaron's play and how he's grown up.
Aside from the winning shot, what about Keenan's performance, considering he was playing an NBA point guard?
Yeah, you're right. I thought he did a good job. He's, Monte Morris is one of the best. 9 assists and only 1 turnover, and we were trying to wear him down, and he plays 45 minutes. That tells you you're right. He is an NBA guard, and but Keenan has played against 2 NBA point guards last year, and I reminded him of that going into the game. I said, you had Isaiah Taylor last week, so now you're starting to grow up. He's starting to get stronger. He's starting to understand how he has to play these guys. They're going to get their points and they're going to score because they're great players. But I'm really, because, Keenan has been working hard. He had a great night tonight. Looking at his across the board, the stat sheet he did some good things.
Coach, when they called the timeout in overtime with 30 seconds and you fouled Yang with 28 seconds to go in the OT, was that kind of like an intentional foul maybe?
Well, we didn't mind fouling in that situation. We wanted to go up and run him off the three-point line. And Niang's a smart player. He just ran right into Zach's knee. It wasn't like Zach stuck his knee out there. He ran into him. And I'm sure to show that on the film. But, because Zach was up there trying to force him to do something with it, to put it on the floor. And he did. And so you're right. You're right. It was we didn't care about whether they foul. We just didn't want them foul in the act of shooting, that type of thing. Long way to walk. Huh? Next time you come around. They don't want you to be seen. Okay. All right.
Did you see something from your team leading into this game, sense something that this could happen tonight?
Well, it helped that they didn't have their full, this team here. When you have a player that's been suspended or whatever, we knew they were going to come ready to play, and they have two great players, maybe three great players on their team. But we had a real intense practice on Monday, and I thought our guys really pulled together. We did a couple of drills that made them pull for each other. A shooting drill where they had to make so many baskets in 2 minutes, and it took them quite a few times to do it. So they really had to. And it was the first time I've seen them pulling for each other and cheering for each other so hard because they didn't want to run again. And so we had a good practice, and we covered a lot of things. And they're growing. We're still a young team. We look, Zach's a sophomore, Matt Temple's a walk-on, never played before. Justin Gray's this is only his year and a half of playing basketball after tearing his knee up last year. Keenan Evans, so we've got some young guys that are stepping up. And Aaron Ross, this is really his first full season. So I'm really proud of how our kids are starting to develop and how they're starting to believe in one another and believe in the system.
Coach, late in the second half, how big was the intentional foul on Justin Gray, and just kind of seeing him was that almost a spark plug for y'all?
I think
just
so.
The steal and all that?
It was huge because I think we did get, 3 points or 4 points out of it? I'm not sure if we missed one. We made one free throw. Then I think we did score on the inbound. So that was huge. And it kind of got us back in the game and gave us some momentum. You're right. That was an important play.
Coach, what were your thoughts to start the second half when Iowa State just could not miss? And I think they went 7 straight possessions. They were scoring. Seemed like everything you were trying on defense just wasn't slowing them down. What was your mindset right then?
Well, it was early in the game, and we tell our players I didn't really tell them this time, but we usually talk about the first 5 minutes out of the lock. The second half, the first 4 minutes are important. And we usually tell them that the halftime score is the most insignificant score. But we had some momentum going in. We tied the game up, but a good team like Iowa State, who has a team that has that type of scoring punch and power, they can create problems for you. But we just didn't seem to have the intensity, which was really disappointing coming out in that second half. And you're right, they were making some shots, and Burton was really just dominating inside. He really stepped up. I thought Deontay really played well.
Coach, first time this year to get a real victory over a ranked team as opposed to the moral victories in the losses. How do you build this momentum going into your next game?
Well, it's a game. It's one game and we have 7 more, I think, in the league. So we've got a long ways to go. And we're a team that probably has to play this way. We're not a team that have a lot of although tonight we had 5 guys in scoring, double figure in scoring tonight. I think that's the first time we've had that this year, maybe twice. I don't know, second time. So we found some things tonight. Getting Devontae Williams back, D-Will played extremely well. When he's scoring, we're much more, we're a better team. And so if we can keep him playing well, and now that we've got, everybody is pretty much healthy, we should be able to. We've been able to compete with most teams in the league, just about everyone. But we've got a real tough one against Baylor on Saturday, and it's always tough to play in Waco. But I like our guys' attitude, and I'm sure this is a real morale booster for us.